And welcome in! Happy Friday, everybody! Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having?
Oh, you know me. Some orange, some cranberry juice, and some Tito's. Mr. Nick, tell the people what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
I'm drinking my J-Lure 7 Oaks Cabernet, as per usual, as you like to say. Well, Asuka turned on Iyo Sky. AEW debuts new women's tag team titles, and Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes exchange words. It's Friday, September 26, 2025. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
To the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's let it go. Two stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Nicole.
Happy Friday. We made it.
I know, we made it. It's been a week. It's been a hell of a week.
Hell of a week.
We are happy to be here. Happy to be here with all of you. Couldn't rather be anywhere else. So thank you all for joining us here. Sorry. But yeah, a lot to get to, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to get to. A lot of big announcements. I kind of spilled the beans on it last week. We are headed to 90s Wrestling Con. Well, myself and a special co-host, Steve.
Steven's going to be me. Steven, bring a hat. People like hats.
Yes, people like hats.
People who
we're not giving away hats, but we're going to be giving away a bunch of free swag at 90s Wrestling Con in Parsippany tomorrow. We are going live. Our live stream will be at 12 p.m. Eastern time, noon time. So we hope to catch you all there and can join us. There's going to be some big names there. Raven, Saturn, Missy Hyatt will be there. Terry Reynolds, just to name a few. They just added Chavo Guerrero recently. So,
Chavo.
Yeah. So it's a very exciting time for us. It's the second time we're going back. We were back there in April. Lisa came as a special guest host for that as well. So Steven's getting.
I want you to wear a top hat now, please, sir.
Like
so classy,
Hyde, like old timey ones.
No, he's classy, dapper, and classy. That is Steven.
True, but we also are going to try. We've been taking the show on the road. So next week, actually on Monday, Nikki and I are sailing away on a vacation for the next 12 days out of the country, out of pocket. So we're not really watching much wrestling. We'll try and catch up as much as we can. So what we're going to do, we're trying Friday, October 3rd, to celebrate the second annual Nicktoberfest, the celebration of my love, my amour, my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Her birthday is October 5th. Welcome in, Murdoch. And October 3rd, we will be celebrating it live from the Norwegian Escape in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're going to try this live stream thing out. It may be on a laptop. It may be just on a cell phone. We don't know how it's going to work out exactly because it's all very much dependent on a connection. But I am super excited for Nicktoberfest.
Yes, queen.
such an old photo. It's before I was old and needed glasses and needed hats to hide my hair.
That's gonna be fun. Nicktoberfest 2 live.
Electric Boogaloo live from San Juan. There should be something. It should,
It's exciting. But yeah, we're just trying out some different things, trying to mix it up a little bit. But again, welcome in everybody. Happy Friday. Missed you all. Regulars checking in. Steve, Josh. Welcome in, Josh. Got Murdog in here, a bunch of people. I know we got a lot to get to.
I do quickly, speaking of our regulars and all our people, milestone this week. My babies, we are over 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Little podcast that was just like hey, let's do a thing together. And then it turned into I give all the credit to Nick in the world to turning this into like our little community, and we couldn't have done it without you kids. I love you immensely. I love this one so flippin' much, but 1,000 subscribers. Yeah. So to that man who shamed us for carrying cross interview, saying how we got him when we don't have 1,000 subscribers.
Now we do.
So
milestone achieved.
So unlocked. But again, I don't know where they are, but the Danhausen socks are still up for sale. Because no one claimed.
I know, now we might have to go to 5,000.
5,000. If you're a 5,000 subscriber, you can get
we'll just keep upping
the Danhausen socks.
What's that called, like an auction?
Yeah, but again, shout out to you guys. You guys make this podcast with us. It's so fucking fun to sit here on a Friday and drink and talk wrestling with my husband, with all you guys. So thank you. We love you immensely.
Yeah, there's some Nikki's non-kayfabe news. Little drop it. That was really the only non-kayfabe news we had this week. So Nikki breaking the 1,000 subscriber.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you for your support. It means so much.
Yeah.
Again, this is our favorite thing to do.
Exactly. So building this community and hanging out with everybody here on a Friday night, that's what we wanted to do, and make friends with people from all around, not only the United States, but the world. So it's been super awesome to meet you all and get to know you all and take all of your opinions in one way or the other. However you like to.
That gross?
Well, no.
We'll take you one way or another. Get out of the gutter.
Yeah. Well, let's move along, Nikki. Got a lot to get to. Let's start with a little AEW. Not much to cover this week, so again, we're going to get to it.
Yeah.
But do you want to...
There's so many things that happened at All Out that I feel wasn't really addressed on the show. And then you actually had a women's main event, which is yay, but it was really just to further a boy storyline. And I was like, no.
Yeah, Statlander doesn't do much for me with that whole Death
No,
Riders.
and I don't, when Renee was like, what's with you with the Death Riders? And like Stat got all serious and got like Renee's face. And then she didn't wind up not joining them. So I was like, what? Why did you look so menacing? And poor fucking Renee. Take that woman on a vacation. Come on the boat with us, Renee. We'll take you.
Exactly.
Bruce
here.
Hey. Thanks for coming. But I feel like there are so many opportunities. And then once again, AEW, like, I'm rooting for you, but
But the big I guess takeaway is the return of Orange Cassidy. So, Nikki, what are your thoughts on Orange Cassidy's return
to
AEW?
They botched it. Like, you knew, you knew it was coming. Obviously, they made all the allusions to it on Saturday, and then they had the I can't talk today. backstage segment, and fucking Kyle O'Reilly, who I love immensely, called what's her face? Was it like, or no, it was Alicia. And he's like, oh, Jane. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm losing where's my mind? And I was like, oh, callbacks. But like, you knew this was coming. So why do you have to pretend he ruined a painting? And then they removed the towel thing and you saw him and then it went dark like it was supposed to. And then it came back on and the two people were running away. Like the timing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know why you alluded to it. We all knew it was going to be him. So I don't know why you had to like hide it the way they did and then like botched it.
Yeah, I like the idea that Mikey came on here when we did the all out preview, and he said that he thought that, you know, putting OC in the Death Rider storyline made the most sense rather than having him with the conglomeration here and just kind of like,
because right, it was they used the Death Riders to write him off, right? It wasn't the Callis family.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
and then Briscoe's been feuding with MJF, so I don't know why after beating MJF he's like, Don Callis, I'm going after you. Like,
right. Yeah, like I feel like he's a very popular AEW wrestler, and to kind of just have him lumped in with the conglomeration, because it just seems like a bunch of guys together, like just thrown together, and like Briscoe's been benefiting the most from that, but I don't know that there's really anyone else that's going to maybe Kyle O'Reilly a little bit to some extent because he's coming out of his shell. I
love Kyle O'Reilly,
but I don't know. I think it's kind of a wasted moment for him. He could have been in a bigger, and he doesn't necessarily need to be like the foil, but one of the foils to help Darby Allin in the coffin match, you know, this past week. That probably would have made sense. Or saved it for the I Quit match to some extent. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of how they're going about this, but I'm never a huge fan of OC to begin with because I think his gimmick's a little bit whatever. But it's kind of like that. Like that's kind of how I feel about it.
I like that there's kind of a pivot to like kind of like the OGs of AEW, like Hangman being champion, Stat being women's champion, like OC's back, Pac is back, like Jurassic Express is back together. So I feel like we're kind of turning back to like the people that kind of built the place in the first place instead of maybe relying so much. Again, I am wearing my Tony shirt, but it's like maybe pivoting to people that kind of helped build this place than people that kind of came in like your Mercedes is of the world. Mercedes is.
Yeah, and well, speaking of the ladies, there is going to be women's tag team titles in AEW. Renee made the announcement.
So cute. I love Renee.
Looks so happy.
I know. Poor pickle. Take that woman on vacation.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? And well, first off, does AEW need women's tag?
I think both companies. I'm not going to shit on AEW. I think WWE, like, there's a lot of belts. A lot of belts. I do like that if we're going to have more belts, I like that it's on the women's side. I think they're very pretty belts. I think WWE has really good looking belts. And then is it hopefully, which I worry about, is this hopefully going to give this more time to women on the TV? Yes, please. But if it's just going to be belts that you're never going to see really defended or on TV, then what's the point?
Right. Like, I felt like even WWE struggles with booking the women's tag team division, and they have a much more loaded roster than AEW does. So, like, in terms of, well, a much more deep roster, I would say. I think so. So to me, where AEW has an advantage, there's a lot more factions, so they can kind of make the argument that there's a bunch of teams already together, but. Like what's like literally Stat and oh my god,
Harley?
Yeah, Harley. I was gonna call her Catwoman now because
she paints herself like it. She's like maybe a smidgel of a modern day Sherry Martel with the face paint. Oh, okay. And if I have to explain to you and Josh who Sherry Martel is again, I will gladly do so. Love you, Josh. It was the first time, or one of the first time Nick called on your show, and then somehow you guys were talking about her, and you couldn't remember her name, and I'm literally screaming from upstairs, and I literally like ran down the stairs to yell at you guys.
Reese chime in. He says he's for it because they've at least made effort to create tag teams through genuine friendships. It's got more to offer.
Well, I don't. I'm assuming that's one of your questions. Like who's?
Yeah, like who could?
I immediately thought your girl, Megan Bain and Penelope.
Penelope Ford.
Yeah, I thought them two immediately. Again, Reese, you're taking the words out of my mouth. I really thought like Ty J is definitely going to be up there as well. Are you going to put Harley Cameron with somebody? Like, would it be, because she's been running around with Stat, but she's also been running around with Anna Jay. But again, Ty Mello was there.
Yeah.
Again, you have the what do they call them? The Beautiful Madness? No, that's Julia. The Triangle of Madness.
Yeah, Triangle of Madness could be a good, interesting.
Like
one.
that's
Could they pair Mercedes? I totally could see Tony pairing someone with Mercedes and just
or do Tony and Mira Shirakawa.
10th belt.
I don't. If they put it on Mercedes, I'm gonna vomit everywhere. No, but if you do Tony Storm and Mira Shirakawa, maybe you could take Tony out of the main picture for a little bit, but still put a Steven with Yaneska or little
Hikaru Shida with Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah, or you do Shida and Riho. I feel like I don't know. To me, I feel like we rattled off more people.
Storm and Windsor. That's an interesting one, Reese.
Windsor. I
Perez,
do like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're kind of saying when? Yeah.
Yeah. Let Tony bring.
Oh, of course he threw Deanna in there.
Yeah.
I see you,
Shocker.
Reese. I see you, babe.
But yeah, no, I like let Tony build up the women's tag division. Like he built up the actual,
Yeah, but I feel like we rattled off more tag teams, more women we want to see than really the WWE ones.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know, it's interesting, yeah. But
Reese. Apparently Gail Kim like shit on Riho.
Oh.
But whatever. But yeah, if they're gonna actually use this to get more women on screen, like I really love Anna Jay. I loved her when she was with Brody. For her to be on TV or get people more involved, like seeing because you're like, where's Megan Bain? Like getting these women on TV, So I'm all for that.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. What ends up happening with the women's tag team division. But yeah, again, those are the big takeaways for us from AEW this week.
And now they're making me watch Collision because my Eddie's going to be on Collision. So I'm going to have to work Collision into my life now.
That's how they get you.
I know. If I need to see my Eddie. So I'll be watching Collision at 8 tomorrow.
You do what you need to do.
I do what I need to do because I love that man.
You make a sacrifice.
I do.
All right, Nikki.
Let's move on.
We're moving along.
You're
Fantasy time.
You're driving along.
Driving along.
Oh my God.
All right, everybody. Let's get ready.
Sorry, go on.
It is week 3. Let's catch you up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour, Fantasy Wrestling League, and Fantasy Wrestling Draft.
Pearl June, that's so close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
We're wrapping on week 3 of the regular season. This is week 4, the last week, and we're cutting it down from 8 to 4. Only 4 teams are going to make the playoffs.
Oh my God.
And then from 4 to 2, and from 2, we crown our final champion.
Put your ones up.
Yes. So this week, as we were away, we have some special statisticians. Steve is going to run SmackDown. Not tonight. I'm doing SmackDown tonight. But he's going to run SmackDown next week and the following week. Lisa and her believers are going to run Raw for the next couple weeks. And then we're going to come back and wrap and find out who our fantasy wrestling champion is. Nikki, how are you feeling?
I don't know, because I asked you when the thing was playing. I was like, did I go 3-0? And you're like, I'm not telling you. And I was like, again, kids, I don't go to production meetings. So I'm finding out the scores and the stats along with you, because I have no idea.
Yes, just to reiterate, so fantasy wrestling is just like fantasy football in the sense of each match is played out. Everyone drafted their own faction. They drafted two male singles and 2 female singles superstars along with 1 tag team. Each week, 1 male single and 1 female singles to represent their team in a match against somebody else. Win or lose, you get points based off of that and moves in the match, putting someone through a table, 20 points of finishing moves, 50 points, etc., etc. So, week 3, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
You feeling confident?
I was against my Lisa.
I will say, this is the highest scoring week in
pay-per-view week, baby.
And your matchup was the highest scoring matchup in league history.
I know, Lisa's working.
Here are the results.
How do you think I'm gonna get along without you? I don't got none. Took me for everything that I had and take me out of my own. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? How long can you stand the heat? Out of the top where the bullets river to the side of the fleet. Look out! Another one bites the duster.
Yes, Nikki, you got the victory in what was the highest scoring match.
Joe Hose, I love you immensely.
Well, it was a very interesting decision because they went with Solo instead of Bronson Reed. And if they went with Bronson Reed on SmackDown and on I'll just call it Metropalooza, WrestlePalooza. Well, there's lexing on it. They would have had an extra 300 points, and probably it would have been close. It would have been a very close.
I'm not good at math, but I still think I would have won.
Yeah, but again, points are the tiebreaker to get in the playoffs too. So
true.
So again, it would have been another 300 points. So it was a very close matchup between you two, and I was kind of surprised that it was. Listen, starting Solo Sikoa over Bronson Reed was just a bad fantasy wrestling decision.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
A little Dennis Green. They are who we thought they were.
I am.
You are who they thought you were.
That's me.
You were a champion. They let you off the hook. You need to get your 90s football references.
Okay.
Nikki, we're bringing 90s back.
We are.
It might have been actually 2000.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Moving on.
But yes. Big win for you, Nikki.
Thank you. Joe Hope, I love you.
Yes. Very, very tough one. Murdog and Mikey's group tied this week. Both losing 50 points. I got my first win.
Look at you.
I will not go winless this year.
Oh, boy.
Thanks to Steven. I didn't really win it, let alone more so Steven probably lost it, or LA Knight, or who was. No, Fraxium. Sorry, Fraxium lost it for him on Friday night. That's really what killed him. It happens. Exactly. Like the benching Lamar Jackson, fantasy football for Zach Wilson. Yeah, that's what the Bronson Reed move was. It was a very questionable.
Is Zach Wilson anywhere?
Yeah, he's in Miami as a backup.
He's like begging someone's mom.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry, go on.
But I got my first win, courtesy of Steven. I know, Steven, it's been we'll see.
Oh.
And then Ed squeaking out a 150 to 120 victory over Reese. Interesting enough.
That was a close one.
Yeah. So you ready for the standings?
Oh my god.
Nikki, congratulations at 3-0 with 720 points. You have clinched a playoff spot. You're going to the show, Nikki.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Playoffs. That one I know.
Yeah, I know. We'll get you there. But yes, so you are atop the leaderboard, 720 points, 3-0 record, followed by Ed, 2-1, 170 points. Murdog, another tie, but still undefeated with 160 points. We're going 0-2. Followed by Mikey with a similar record, just 10 points behind you. The Johos, the second highest scoring team in the league, but only fifth with a 1-2 record. Followed by me with my -50. My first win, but you never know. I'm making my run.
Get it, girl.
All I need is a big week from Randy Orton.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to happen. 7 security guards.
Yeah, well, we thought you were going to show up at Rectapalooza, and that didn't happen.
One of these weeks is going to happen.
Sure.
Reese, winless, 0-2-1. Reese, you were talking a big game. Now your playoff life is in the balance. And Steven,
I feel like that's the biggest shocker of them all.
I don't know who you're tanking for, Steven.
I think Steven's the big shock to me. Steven.
Yeah. Real shocker. So let's look at the matchups for this week.
Oh, gosh.
Steven trying to get his first win against Murdog, the undefeated Murdog squad. Steven made one of the few moves this week. He put Jey Uso and Tiffany Stratton back in his lineup.
Well, Tiffy has a match.
Yeah.
Against
Defending
Murdog Nia.
So he's hoping that he can get some points off that. Murdog, Drew McIntyre really helped him out last couple weeks.
Well, Drew might be off making a movie. Maybe that should have been Nikki's news. He's going to be Henry Cavill's brother in Highlander.
Oh, yeah. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, sorry. We can talk about it here, but at least Nia and Tiffany definitely have a match this week, so.
Mikey's rolling with the same group that's got him into the show. Nikki, Braun Breaker, your franchise player, and you're hoping Chelsea Green.
I put a franchise tag on him.
Ed's rolling with Iyo Sky, Cody Rhodes, New Day, and the Johos are sticking with this lineup because they didn't change it. They didn't tell them they were changing it. So that Bronson Reed may come back to haunt them in getting to the playoffs. So
Crazy pants.
Yeah. We shall see, Nikki.
I know, it's going to be crazy.
But put a little wrap on the fantasy wrestling portion of the show and slide over to Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
So, and get our Monday Night Raw takeaways where we open with the setup, because it's going to be an interesting couple weeks for us not really watching as much wrestling while we're away, and the build-up to Crown Jewel, as we're going to see Cody Rhodes taking on Seth Rollins. And this is the first time they really come face-to-face for the most part since, well, I feel like too much interaction and discuss a lot of the history between them, between Cody and Seth. So here's a little excerpt from Monday night between what's going to be a showdown between Seth and Cody.
Because in 3 weeks, Crown Jewel, the truth will come out by any means necessary. You will find out. I am the creator. I am the prime mover, Cody. This is not a two-man show. I'm the alpha.
You're the alpha. A lot of questions here for me. I've just got 2 questions for you. In the 3 matches that we've had, they have all been 1-on-1. At Crown Jewel, will that be the case? And more importantly, in the 3 matches that we've had, Seth Rollins, how many of those have you won?
Yes.
We need a slight dip back into fantasy.
Yes, slight dip back into fantasy land. Sorry, Reese. So the matchup this week is Reese and myself. Sorry. So I'm rolling back with the same. Randy Orton's going to give you 7 RKOs, and I'm hoping the Wyatts finally do something. Because this whole season they haven't done anything for me.
Right. And then to Murdoch's point, Drew got hired to be in the movie, but I know Henry Cavill got injured on set, so I think things are delayed. But again, Drew, you only need him for a couple more weeks, so I think you'll be okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So sorry to backtrack. I know I thought I missed something. I forgot about myself and Reese. Sorry, Reese. But yeah, so going back to the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes face-to-face interaction. Nikki, what was your takeaways?
I really like this promo. Again, it's like the 2 tops, and for I don't think it's what you showed in the video, but he was like, you say you want to be QB1. Well, what does that say about me? Like, are you saying I'm not as good, or you think I'm not as good as you? And then it's like, oh, you want to be QB, but that goes through me. I don't know. I think Seth really killed this promo. I do like serious Seth Rollins when he comes out and just cuts a promo.
Yeah.
And I think I love the juxtaposition of like him having the fun house showy silly match with the mixed tag and then turning to Cody and then it's serious pants time. And I really like that for Seth. But again, then it's also like when Cody at the end and he's like, oh, you know, like they've had such good credible matches, but Cody has one every time. So I'm like, is this Seth's turn? I would love him to fucking beat Cody so bad. As you know, I love Cody.
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh my
that's the thing. It's you know, he made notes that like he's never won, he's never beaten him in the 3 matches. So Seth's kind of owed one. In my opinion, he's got to win one to gain a little more credibility and relevancy as a champion. And if you recall, last year Cody won this same crown jewel over Gunther, and we thought Gunther was going to win this too.
Right.
He raises a good question about like whether or not it will be 1-on-1.
And he's like, oh, Paul Heyman, I'm a goon. Paul Heyman forever.
But it was good. It's a good start to like to where they're headed. I'm curious to see, is the Vision going to be involved? Like how the Vision's going to be involved in this whole process? Like, is CM Punk going to somehow?
It's a long way to fly to Australia. Well, AJ did it.
No. Like, I don't think he's going to like go over that. But I'm saying like the next couple of weeks, how does CM Punk kind of?
Right, they weren't on Raw this week, right?
No.
And then Becky cut that weird promo on Seth. I was like, I don't know what's happening. And then she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I thought she'd interfere in the Rhea Asuka match. Again, we'll get there, but I don't know what that was about. But I don't know. I like serious Cody. I like serious Seth. I want to see this match. I hope they don't get involved because I just want to see, again, it's to the top. Doing top guy stuff. Sorry, FTR.
Yeah.
And then I kind of liked him saying, like, I'm the alpha. And but then also, I love Cody acknowledging what Seth has really done for his career since he's been back. Like, he was the...
Well, no, it gave him the history of the last,
it's like the Mania match, you were my shield, and him saying shield, I'm like, get it, girl. But again, there's like, I don't want to say there's no Cody without Seth, but maybe there isn't. Because like Seth putting over Cody that Mania match was big.
Yeah, if it's anybody else, well, he might still get there, but it would take him a longer time. It gave him much more of a platform.
Yeah,
a much bigger platform for a better match, and put him back on the stage. Because there's a lot of like you could have Rusev'd him and put him back on like a Raw and just have him come out and get a couple squash matches and then stay in the mid card for a while.
So I don't know. Again, I love them too immensely, but I would really love Seth coming out on the other side of this.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll have to figure out. Maybe we'll pick. I don't know if we're gonna pick these. How we're gonna pick these? Maybe we'll pick these in Puerto Rico next week.
We're gonna have to.
Yeah.
We're gonna have
That's
to.
probably gonna be the only way we'll do it. So no graphics, just doing it live. But moving along, so any other before we get to the end of the night, the women's tag team match, do you have any other Raw takeaways that you want to talk about? That you
Bailey and her weird craziness that she was like,
now she's on the downside.
Her hugger persona came out and she's like, Lyra, come with me to the ring. And then she beat up Lyra in the ring. And it's like the roller coaster. And then Wade Bear got real weird.
She's
with the hug.
channeling her actual, I thought about this more, not the Naomi gimmick anymore. More, it's a hybrid Naomi and Bray Wyatt. The Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt, to some extent. I would love to see her morph that character, like the hug character, into like the what the hell is it? The Mr. Rogers version of Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of a nice touch on it. And I think Bailey, if there's anyone that could do it, it's Bailey. Like I think she's such a student of the game. She loves it. Like I could see her being great at that. But it'd be interesting. But yeah, so we get to the main event. Speaking of the women's division, where the Kabuki Warriors and Asuka and Kairi Sane have finally turned on Iyo Sky. Nikki, your thoughts on Kairi and Asuka?
Girl, that missed. I don't think, again, it's usually, maybe I just remember what, maybe it's with Bianca, because I feel like it was so minimal. She turned Rhea into like She-Hulk. She was had covered, like had to like stomach and just the mist. Gross. It was great. I don't know if did she have what baby oil on and she's like rubbing. That's what I've never seen so much mist in my life.
I think that maybe it was
or something, but because all of a sudden it was just like it got to her, and I was like, what? But to me, I know it's like Asuka turning heel, but I feel like all the credit to Kairi Sane, just her facial expressions, and then her going after Iyo, and then her crying, and then she goes up and hits the insane elbow.
Yeah,
and I did also go.
It reminds me of so the Nexus, the original Nexus debut with Justin Gabriel. Every time he'd do the 450 splash, Justin Gabriel would always do that like pause for a while. Now I don't know if it was just because he was setting himself up, but after a while I thought it was a character thing where he was just like he was more of a baby face, and he just always was conflicted about like the person's down and out and like what else to do. And that's what it kind of reminded like Kairi. But the thing about this is it's going to absolutely. I thought the world title around this would have been added a little bit more to it, and maybe they still get there somehow. But the big moment that we're heading towards is I think Kairi Sane turning face eventually is going to be a monumental moment. It's gonna be like that, sure. Like when I'm just wondering why this came to mind. Like Alex Riley turned on the Miz, and like all the like all those bully storylines when Otis turned on Gable eventually, like all those bully storylines that come to fruition. That's what this is going to be, and it's going to give Kairi an opportunity that I think to get over even more than she's ever been.
Yeah. But I love a heel Asuka, and her like pretending to be upset and hugging Iyo and then turning around to back fist. I was like, oh girl. I like because I feel like when she was heel, when like the Damage CTRL was heel, but like I don't know. I feel like a heel Asuka does it for me, and I'm here to see her go on this tear. And then again, whenever obviously it's not going to be. Would it be a crown jewel match or whatever is after a crown jewel? Well, I guess that's
Survivor Series.
Survivor. Isn't there? No, there's a Saturday Night's Main Event on November 1st. They can do it there. But again, the feud between Asuka and Iyo is going to be incredible. I love Kairi crying in the background. Again, Steven, your comment that she was upset by the miss and then took photos with everyone backstage.
Yeah, he's been dangerous enough to take Rhea, but not so much she couldn't take pics backstage.
But again, I don't. Again, maybe you, Steven or Reese will correct me. I don't remember someone being head to toe just
like gross.
Or because maybe like Bianca was like, nah, girl. But
yeah, I'm interested to see where it's because I mean to end Raw. I mean because it's Rhea, but they could have probably put this at like the 9 o'clock hour, like the middle of the.
No, I love that it's a women's story closing the show. Right? This was Maine. This was Maine. So again, it ended, and again, I am going to compare it to AEW. It's a women's story. There was a heel turn, and it ended with the women in the ring, and everyone was booing the shit out of Asuka. Like, this is what you want. Then Statlander getting the roll up.
Steven said you need to learn to think ahead by throwing something in one of her 7,000 pockets.
I mean, remember when he had like those shields? He had to wear those shields too. She can wear one of those. But I don't know. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Again, you can spin. I don't know, because obviously Rhea's gonna have a match at Crown Jewel. Like, is this like a tag match? Would it be like, and then save Asuka Iyo one-on-one later? Because again, Rhea's on the poster. It's in Australia. Like, mommy's on the card.
Yeah.
So would it be like? To me, it would be the tag match, because I not want to say the money, but like the match you want to see is Asuka Iyo, so you can kick that down the road and have the tag match first.
Do the tag.
And it's a good feel-good win because it's Rhea and she's in Australia and she's Australian and blah blah blah.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where they go with this now that they've turned on Iyo, and like obviously Iyo and Rhea are gonna band together, and how much longer, what the next steps of this storyline. Because I mean, the four of them are gonna battle, but then what? I don't know. Because I think it's gonna eventually lead to Kairi. Kairi's the conflicted one, so it's gotta be.
Yeah. Well, who do you think Rhea wins the Royal Rumble again? I know everyone's saying like Sami Zayn locked. Everyone's been saying that forever.
I think Breaker Zayn.
Yeah, but I'm like, I have not heard any, pun intended, rumble about who's going to win the women's rumble. Again, guys, correct me if I'm wrong.
It may not be written yet.
I don't know.
With Ed.
I don't know. My hat's all over the place.
Exactly. But
where is it gonna go?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not.
Reese, Liv Morgan would be. I think that's your best shout. Have her re-debut, not re-debut. Come back at the Rumble. She looks so sad in that press conference. Unfortunately, then besides Deanna, Reese, who do you want to win?
All right. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Nikki, let's move along. A little over an hour. Well, an hour 15 out to SmackDown.
Yes.
Take a little look ahead.
Yeah.
Already mentioned, but Sami Zayn's going to make an appearance.
Is he doing an open? I don't like that they're announcing his open challenges.
Yeah.
Like, give me a surprise. Like, when he came out, it was a surprise. When KO came out, it was a surprise. Like, announcing it was Mello, and then last week was Dragon Lee. Like, have it be a surprise. Like that was like the whole kind of thing. Then like bring up an NXT kid or something. Like, is this how like Tony D'Angelo comes up? I'm still doubting Tony D'Angelo.
I know. We're gonna get it eventually.
But have someone come up and like fucking everyone's favorite Joe Hendry. Like have someone come out and do something, like be a surprise, have it being someone fun. Not that like him and Dragon Lee had a good match, him and Mello had a good match, but I'm like, give me someone exciting. Again, when he you know, obviously barring his injury, but he came up, everyone was like, oh my god. Obviously when KO come up, that's when KO's coming out party was. Like, give me something exciting.
Does this excite you?
No.
Julia and is it no, not what, I keep confusing who she's with now. I don't even know if she's with it anymore. I don't even know.
No, you're making me blank out. No.
B-Fab and Mishin are taking on Julia and oh my god, why can't I back in her name? Oh my god, I'm so sad. She's been with her for like
I'm seeing all the other. Yes, yeah, you were right. It was Kiana James. Reese put it in there, but you almost said it, and then you stopped saying it. I was like, well, then it's not her name.
Because I was about to say Katana Carter or whatever, and like I got really thrown off.
No, because you almost said Katana, and I was like, no, that's Kiana, and then you were like, no, and I was like, okay, that's not right. It's just like there's no. I feel bad for me again, but there's fucking no pop. And then B-Fab, I'm like, okay. And then Julia, I feel is getting nothing.
Well, I just felt like they just put her with somebody so that she could seem stronger for a little bit.
But like, I actually do like Kiana James. I don't understand. Like, she's like the business bitch, and she comes out with a purse. Like, give her something a little more than that, because I actually do like her in the ring, and I did like the call up, and obviously she got injured, and now she's coming back into the fold with Julia.
That gimmick would work so well if she was with Mercedes Moné.
No, but like I want to give
she's
her
like the executive, and Mercedes is a CEO.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I'm good at business. Here's my lady purse. I don't know. I just want something more for her.
Okay, and then finally we got Tiffany Stratton. I almost call it Tiffany James because it's too many.
We're just matching all the women's names together.
All the names that
it's like they're not real names.
Tiffany Stratton's defending the women's.
And now that I think about it, Kalani Jordan and Kiana James, like, why are all the names so similar? It's still a K and a J.
Every time, I'm not even going to get it.
Reese, If
Reese, don't even get Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton defending it's Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. So some points on the line tonight. But Reese is saying Cargill to pin Nia.
If Tiffy loses, I'll be real mad. Because obviously whoever wins this match is going against Stephanie at Crown Jewel. To me,
gotta be Tiffany.
Tiffany makes more sense. I don't want to see Stephanie have to carry Jade through a match. And I don't like Nia Jax. So it's like Tiffany needs to win.
These randomizers stuck.
I just I'm so, again, it really is. I'm so like, have Tiffy win and either bring up Chelsea or some other women, because I'm so tired of Tiffy fighting the three of these people, or the two of them. I'm not here for this. I'm over. I hate to say it because I know Jade is like an attraction, but I'm sort of over her already.
I know. I know you think.
Hated it. But I don't know. I'm just I'm over this. I really am.
Jade needs to turn heel.
Because Tiffany
Jade has hinted at it, so maybe it's like her losing and turns her heel or something. But I don't want to see at Crown Jewel Stephanie Jade.
No, not at all.
But if you're gonna tell me you're gonna give me Tiffy Stephanie at I'm just saying it's not gonna happen that early. But Survivor Series or a big PLE, then okay. But you could sell me on the fact that like if you're just doing this as an interim like match to try and build up other feuds, I get it. But like the bigger match, if you're talking about like the best of the best, is to put Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie McCarry. These are two young stars, champions. Like put them right there on their stage and let them have their moment.
Yeah. Again, like I don't. Well, she can't go back. She was never there. She went straight to Maine, baby. And I honestly feel like she's kind of been lost without being with Bianca.
They're going back and forth. They just go to Hollywood.
Like, no, Reese, I agree. I think I don't know. I think probably Stephanie would go over Tiffany, but I'd rather see that match. Like, don't give me Nia Jax. Don't give me Jade. We don't. Nia had her run last year. Right? Yeah, last year. We're good. Jade doesn't she's not there yet. She probably should have went to NXT or put her down there. And like she needs some more cooking. I get she's beautiful and she's jacked to shit, and I get why she's on our TV. But she's been what 2 years at this point?
Yeah. Maybe she just is what she is. And like I don't know that seasoning is like
again.
Some people are just not,
make her.
Like, you call them girl, but like maybe that's the case. Like they have their limitations. Everyone has their athletic limitations. Like even though she's super athletic, maybe in the ring, there's an art to it. Like you can be a great athlete, but you still have to be able to. There's finesse into even strong style, right? Like there's finesse to everything.
Right.
Like Nakamura, there's a finesse to how he does things, and you still have to learn that. And maybe she just doesn't get to that point. And like some people don't have that ability. Some people just do it, wrestle one way and can only have their limitations. But I don't know.
And I feel bad because again, I like not like we can do any of the things that she does, but I'm just like, she doesn't do anything for me. She really doesn't. So if Tiffany loses, I'm gonna be real upset, guys.
Yeah. Reese made it kind of an interesting point. She's at NXT and Bryan Danielson, still not good enough. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. Because there's no. We always talk about being liquid in the ring, and I feel like she just robots. I know people have this thing about Logan Paul. They just kind of robot, and you stand there, and you're waiting for the thing to happen instead of selling or reacting or doing something to get you there. You just stand there and do and wait and be a thing. It's just like. Again, and what you say is finesse. Like there needs to be something.
Yeah, I don't know, like because I really thought like she's a great sign. Like they're gonna find a way to package her, and they did. I mean, as like a main event star, but when is the time to?
I would say
either turn it up or turn it off. Like.
Honestly, they probably have to go back to the AEW model with her. Put the United States belt on her and just have her crush people until someone like builds himself up to take the belt off her. Like that's when Statlander came back and took the belt off her. Like if you're gonna make her Girlberg, is that what Steven called her?
Yeah, he called
her
Girlberg.
Then do that. Like, have her be that monster that only needs to hit a boot and the jaded. I was going to say Glenn's hand, but same thing. But, like, have her do that. Like, she's not there. To me, she's not top of the card yet. And, like, I get it. She's got a look, and she's got a great look, and I get why she's there in the top, but I'm just like, ugh. Oh, my God. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, oh, it's going to happen. But
the only other thing is, we talked about Cody Rhodes is making an appearance tonight. What do you expect is next in the?
Well, what is there else to do or say? Like, is he going to cut another promo? Like, obviously, then we're building
Cody Braun Breaker. Does it lead to like a Cody and one of the Vision?
Do you think he's going to have that a random match before going to Crown Jewel to have this match with Seth? Again, that's what happened. Rey Mysterio, you had him in all these dumb matches, and he got injured and couldn't have the Mania match. Not that I'm saying anyone's like botchy or can hurt someone, but like, hey, you're making this huge match, a champions versus champion in Australia. Why have him be in a dumb match?
Ed just wants him to show up dressed as Guile.
I mean,
we got Catherine chiming in.
Hey.
Jade needs to quit wrestling. She's been in the business for 4 years and still has not improved in the ring.
Yeah, and I feel bad. Like, obviously, most of us can't do what she does, but like at some point, like you're in there with some really good people. Like you're not gleaming anything. You're just
like, and I don't know. I also feel like she could benefit from a manager.
It's not like she can't talk. I don't know. I think she's not a bad talker. I think it's maybe writing that. Again, I feel like the writing. If I can talk, maybe I need a mouthpiece. I don't think the writing is always great for the women. And I don't know, because I feel like people like Becky and AJ Lee and I have like more leeway. And they're not so prescribed and scripted. And I feel like Jade, they're like, say these things. Or like even Bailey, that they can kind of like, here's your bullet points, play, babe. I don't think Jade gets that. So.
Yeah. Catherine made a great point about Cody Rhodes. She said Cody's only there tonight so the crowd can sing his song. And then Ed said he's singing his song right now.
Somewhere, someone's singing that song.
Whoa.
But again, like, I don't know how much side quests is he going to go on when we know in 2 weeks he's fighting Seth.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because, we also have to figure out, because we get home or we dock and we have to figure out what we're going to do for that.
I know. That's going to be a very fun and interesting day for us. A lot of moving parts on that. But, Nikki, we're closing in on that time.
Yep.
Just about an hour out of SmackDown. We're going to open up the phone lines. Let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, AEW. We'll cover it all. Nikki, my little blondie. Hit the stage.
Bing bong.
I know, you like doing little bing bongs.
I like the big bongs.
All right, Nikki. Phone lines are open. You never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Woo!
We've had our close friend Lisa as a published author multiple times. We've had authors on the show before. We got another one coming our way. Multiple time published wrestling author, Brian Solomon. He's got a book coming out this week. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
Pleasure having you. We like to say, what are you drinking? What are you thinking here on the show? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm drinking my strawberry apricot Red Bull to help keep me awake because I have a small child.
Oh.
And I don't know what I'm thinking. I guess I'm thinking that I wonder what's going to happen on SmackDown tonight.
Exactly. Well, welcome in, and definitely appreciate you joining us here. Obviously, you got a lot going on. Nikki, obviously, you want to take it away? You
I know.
Questions with your
I
book
know
coming out on Monday.
We have a lot of questions about the book, but usually my first question is like the origin story of like what got you into wrestling, what turned you, because obviously wrestling is our favorite thing. Like what turned you on? Was it like a person, a wrestler, a show that you saw for the first time? What got you into this craziness?
Well, the thing that hooked me into wrestling was the angle between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant leading up to WrestleMania 3. I was aware of wrestling as a kid, growing up in that time. You couldn't not be aware of it. I knew who these guys were. I just wasn't into it until that happened. As a lot of people remember, wrestling used to be on Saturday mornings back then on local syndication. And so I'm flipping around on a Saturday morning watching cartoons and stuff. And I catch on to this wrestling thing. And it happens to be the episode where Andre turned on Hogan. I mean, that was it. It was Piper's Pit.
Yeah.
With Bobby Heenan bringing Andre on and ripping off the crucifix, and Roddy Piper's there. And that's it. I was off to the races. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like this strange kind of theater that I couldn't explain. And I wanted to see what was going to happen next. And that's how I became a wrestling fan.
Love it. With all of us.
So your book, which we're super excited to hear about, The Life and Times of Gorilla Monsoon, Irresistible Force. So take us through, comes out this upcoming week. Is it Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, it comes out on Tuesday.
So take us through what compelled you. I know you've written, a few books already in the past, but what compelled you to write this one about Gorilla?
Well, I like writing books about subjects where I'm able to delve into wrestling history, but I know that it's also somebody whose notoriety can help to carry the book. So with someone like Gorilla Monsoon, I know that, wrestling fans know who he is, especially if you grew up, if you're over the age of 35, 40, you definitely remember him. And even if you're younger, he's everywhere. His voice is everywhere on those old clips and the documentaries and the packages and things. So I thought, hey, I could write about this guy because everybody knows him. And at the same time, I could write about all this great wrestling history from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and help people to understand how important of a figure that Gorilla Monsoon was to the formation of the most important, biggest wrestling company that's ever existed in the history of the industry. And I don't think it's appreciated enough. And I felt like it needed to be done.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for us, it's like you hear a Gorilla position, and I think the story is like that's because that's where he sat. Like, were they calling that the Gorilla position when he was still around, like still backstage and stuff? Like, does he know that like it's across promotions, everyone talks about Gorilla?
Right. And it's impossible to pinpoint when that started, but it was definitely when he was there doing it. Certainly by the 80s, by the time that, he was on TV and everything as an announcer, it was known to be called that. And at that time, I don't think it was being called that anywhere but the WWF, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really truly started to infiltrate everywhere. Like, I don't think it was called that in WCW, for example. It really started to infiltrate everywhere, really, in this century after Gorilla's passing, where it everywhere in the entire business. If you go to your local indie show that's running in some brewery somewhere, they have a Gorilla position, and so now it's everywhere.
Do you think he'd like be excited or tickled or like really that this is now all these years later, like that's still called Gorilla, or that he had the small little impact of like,
I think he'd be amazed. In fact, Bruce Pritchard, who kind of took over the Gorilla position for a while, especially when Gorilla was doing a lot of the announcing, he couldn't be sitting there on the shows that he was calling. So Bruce Pritchard would help out a lot, and Bruce Pritchard wound up really taking it over in later years to a certain degree, to the point where he actually said once on his podcast that they wanted to change the name of it to the Love position because of Brother Love. And he said, absolutely not. That has to stay the Gorilla position. It will always be the Gorilla position. And I'm glad that he insisted on that.
For sure. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Oh, we're all in the Love position.
The Love position.
No.
It can be misconstrued.
No. Gorilla works.
Right.
So, right, what I always found, and this more recently, like fascinating. We watched the documentary, the Vince McMahon Netflix documentary, and what I thought was really interesting, at least in the rise of Vince McMahon, is for lack of a better, the power story or the moment that almost Gorilla bought WWE and like how that changed. Was there anything in your research or your feelings about like Gorilla's feelings towards Vince, and I guess how things kind of could have gone or where the industry could have gone if Gorilla took over WWF?
Yeah, well, at one point he was the next in line. He really was. And I think the relationship with Vince was complicated, especially in the beginning because of that. And by the beginning, I mean like 69, 70, 71, when Vince first came in and started helping out and doing things. We think of Vince, the promoter today, as the guy who created all this and did all this, and the greatest wrestling promoter of all time. That's not how he was viewed back then. He was the boss's kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about that and how those people are usually viewed, and not just in wrestling, but in any company, not very well. It's kind of like, oh, this schmuck that we have to put up with, and especially in wrestling with promoters' kids, they don't have a great track record like your George Goulas's of the world. And when I did the Sheik book, his son, Captain Ed George, these were people that were not always the most respected, and they weren't the most accomplished. And Vince was kind of looked that way, whereas Gorilla had really paid his dues and was kind of a made man, a company guy. Vince Sr.'s original idea was not to have his son take over. He didn't even want him involved. And so it was contentious. It was contentious when Vince started getting more and more power and eventually moved to buy everybody out. It was not a smooth transition. He was not happy because he knew that what he had the most to lose out of all the partners and everything. And so he was not happy about it. And they really had to, over time, kind of make it up to him and make him happy.
That makes a lot of sense.
And they did. They did. He was happy with the deal that he got. He wound up making the best money of his life after he gave up his shares in the company. However, he also didn't make anywhere near as much money as he would have made if he had been allowed to hold on to his shares in the company as big as it got. He owned 20%, and he had fully intended to pass along that to his family. And when the company was sold, you do the math, Vince sold the company for $9 billion. 20% of that is what those shares would have been worth. So he gave up a lot.
Yeah. I think we obviously would be, I think when I think of Gorilla Monsoon, it's obviously him and Bobby the Brain, those skits that they used to do. And I know Ed put it in the chat, like, will you stop that? Like, what is your maybe favorite story about Gorilla and Bobby together?
Oh man, there's so many. I think one of the best ones that I heard was something that his daughter told me, Bobby Heenan's daughter, and I had to kind of get her to repeat it and get it in detail because I couldn't believe it. She told the story about how when she was a kid, Gorilla came to visit them down in Florida at some point, and Bobby was working for WCW at the time, but they didn't care. They were still friends. And Jessica Heenan had to leave the table and go, there was a baseball game at her high school, and she was going to, check out the boys and hang out with her friends and all that stuff. So she goes to this baseball game, and Bobby and Gorilla decide to show up at the game.
Oh, no.
They show up at this game, and they immediately draw all attention to themselves because they start doing their routine. They start doing the play-by-play of the game from the stands, like doing their whole shtick. And this is like, how many people are at a high school baseball game? You know what I mean? What,
yeah.
like 100 people tops, if like probably a lot less.
Yeah.
And, Jessica said how she didn't even know how to react because she's a young girl. She's embarrassed. Her dad and her dad's friend are doing this. But at the same time, she recognized how amazing and funny it was. So when she told me that, I remember thinking like, wow, nobody knows about this. Nobody got to witness this unless you were there at that high school baseball game on that day. So I just thought that was a really fun story about them.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I guess, I lost my train of thought. I had a really good question and I completely lost it.
It happens.
Yeah. We lost it. Hold on. I'll recollect because one of our callers, one of our regulars is on the line. Actually, I don't know. Sorry, I got it back. Back. Actually, because it's one of our callers' favorite wrestler. That's why. Thanks, Reese. Literally just staring at his face in the background made me remember. So the foreword for this book was written by Bret Hart. So what do you make, I guess, in writings of the relationship that they have had, and what did Bret say about the relationship he's had with Gorilla over the years?
He was glowing with praise for Gorilla. I don't think I fully understood the relationship, the connection between Gorilla Monsoon and the Hart family. And it's funny, you know, when you go back and you listen and you remember, it's obvious because he used to put over Bret all the time on commentary, and you could tell it was genuine. He used to talk about the Hart family a lot. In fact, I think he's really responsible for getting that over with fans. The idea of Stu and Helen Hart, and they're Bret's parents, and they have the dungeon in Calgary, and, you know, Davey Boy is the brother-in-law, Owen's the brother. Like, he really got that going. And he was a proponent behind the scenes of Bret for years. He was a booster, a supporter. He was thrilled when they really put the company on his back. And so it was because of that Bret was thrilled to write this forward for me. He was absolutely on board. It didn't even take any, you know, convincing. I was put in touch with him by his brother Ross, who's kind of like the family historian. And, you know, we made it happen. He got it to me. He wrote it all himself for real. Like, I know some people doubt those things sometimes. Not only did he write it all himself, but he actually got back to me with corrections that he wanted me to make because he had like second guess certain things that he said. Like, that's how serious he was about it. So yeah, I'm so proud to have that as part of the book.
That's awesome. So I mentioned him earlier. One of our regulars has a question. He's calling. He wants to ask. He's our friend from overseas. Bring him in, Reese.
Even all.
Hi, Reese.
I mean, you say his name. Of course, he's a Bret Hart fan. Pleasure to meet you, Brian. I actually know for a fact your book was in release because it's actually in the top suggestions for coming out for new release on Amazon.
It is the #1 wrestling new release book on Amazon. Yeah.
And, always do your research, folks. Always do your research. So there's something
floating around that #1 spot for all the wrestling books. Yeah. AJ Lee coming back kind of knocked me off the top spot because now
that won't last long. Don't worry.
Everybody's buying her book, and Tyrus always has an advantage because he's on Fox News every single week. So they are still buying his book that's been out for years. It's still at the top. The Karrion Kross book is hot. The Becky Lynch book is doing well. So, but my book is in that rarefied air. Yes.
Your book's up there with another personal favorite of mine, the Lockdown Mick Foley book. That's how I know I like your stuff anyway. So obviously that's Mick's own book, but like it's good writing. But I actually want to ask a question about the book itself because I'm waiting to get I'm gonna get mine. I've just not had a chance to buy it yet. That's how I already knew about your book. And I wanted to know anyone can go back through wrestling history and you can pick any wrestling personality and write about them. Many people have written books about The Rock. They've written books about Owen. People have written books about Taker. But not many people go to people, legends specifically from a period where there was a lot to do with, again, like segregation and racial disparity. And Gorilla Monsoon went through all of that. So what I wanted to ask you is, did you get to go through like the early years of his career as well? And did you find anything fascinating that you've not written in the book? Like something that maybe you would say, actually, maybe it doesn't need to be in the book, but something fascinating about his early career in the memoirs of Monsoon. Something I've always wanted to know, because you don't see a lot of that about like other authors, is they'll just go for like the cliche stuff, but they don't go for something that's like, it doesn't have to be deeply personal, but it can be like that little salivating moment, if you know what I mean, as an author.
Well, I was very interested in getting into the early years of his career because there's never really been much written about it. So what I mean by that is even before he came to the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. So he came in the summer of '63.
Huge as well.
And and he was the #1 top heel instantly. And before that, he hadn't even been a main event guy. Like he came in there and just was immediately overnight a star. But the thing is, from that point on, there was one point in the mid '60s where he went out to California for about a year and a half. But other than that, he basically stayed in the WWF territory for the rest of his career. So he was a lifer. But I was interested to learn because he wrestled for 3 years before that. So that was an interesting time where you actually see Gorilla Monsoon hitting the territories, going to different places. So I liked very much to get into those details. He started out in the upstate New York territory, Pedro Martinez, because that's where he comes from. And he started there. He went up to Toronto for Frank Tunney's promotion. And then they sent him out to Stampede. And that's where he was a full-time, because he still had a day job in the beginning. He was a full-time wrestler out there, because that's, 2,000 miles away, whatever it is. You're there for 6 months. Like, that's your job, And from there, he was in the Midwest for a little bit. He wrestled in St. Louis. He wrestled for the Kansas City promotion and places like that. Of a short cup of coffee in the AWA. The one place he never really went was the South. None of the Southern territories. He never hit there. Nothing. Florida, Georgia, Mid-Atlantic, Gulf Coast, the Memphis territory, Texas. Never went to any of those places. But he went out to California for a bit, and then he got a shot in Japan, which is where he met Killer Kowalski. And that was where he really started to take shape, because that's where he first started working heel. He started growing out his beard. They called him over there. They had 2 nicknames for him. One was the human elephant. No, I'm sorry. The white elephant, and the other one was the human typhoon. And I think that those nicknames had an influence on, the whole Gorilla Monsoon thing when he came over. But so he met Kowalski over there, and I think Kowalski took a liking to him. Kowalski was already one of the biggest stars in wrestling, and he had been for years. And he kind of took this guy under his wing, and he made the connection to the WWF and Vince McMahon, and he helped bring him to New York. And then his career started to skyrocket. But I was fascinated by those early years of where he's still trying to make it, because he was very lucky in a way. It didn't last long. Like, after a few years, he was on Easy Street. I mean, he really hit it big early in his career. So he was very lucky in that way.
Do you feel like there's anything, and the reason I got to drop, we had connection issues there,
Yeah,
but
I saw.
Is there anything that you feel like in the ring that Gorilla's career has been kind of taken from those after him, that like move, whether it's moveset or just his little pieces of his character?
I think the biggest influence that he had in that way was that he really was part of creating the template for the WWF monster heel. And that is like one of the bread and butters of that company. And it would be for years and years. And he was the first one. I mean, that's a very big deal. That was the WWF style, and it lasted all the way into the Hogan years. To a certain degree, they will dip into that every now and then, even now, with your Bronson Reeds and things like that. And but that was the format. You had your big, popular babyface champion, and he was beloved, and you'd put him up against these lunatics, these giants, these unstoppable maniacs, right? That's the formula. And Gorilla Monsoon was the first one. That's a very important responsibility. And they would try to replicate it to varying degrees of success for the next, 25, 30 years. They were even doing it with Shawn Michaels. So, I mean, that's really important.
Nikki?
I don't know.
Oh.
Am I doing? Are we?
Oh no! I got
Bingo.
Well, did
my question's always last.
Nikki's got a very controversial question that everyone on the show has to answer, and it can make you heal her face depending on part of the country you're from.
Somebody had a really interesting question in the comments here, though. That if I could address it, it's the Weekly Steel Chair. He asked if he ever went to Detroit. And now I sort of became the Detroit wrestling expert when I did the Sheik book, because that book is all about the history of wrestling in Detroit, too. And the answer is yes, he actually went there a few times. I think he had 3 matches there. And one of them was in that early part of his career, in the early 60s. They had this giant star-studded tournament, and they invited him down there. And he wasn't even that big of a star yet, but it was because he was so big, and he was such a great attraction. They brought him in, and they had people from all over. Freddie Blassie was there. I think one of the luchadors came in. They had people from all the different territories, and he made a lot of contacts there. And then later on in the 70s, he came in twice when they were having a war in Detroit, a wrestling war between the Sheik's promotion and Dick the Bruiser's promotion. And they would be running shows on the same night in the city of Detroit. And so the Sheik was part of the NWA. Dick the Bruiser was not. So as part of that, he would call in favors from all the promoters. And at that point, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation was also a member of the NWA. A lot of people forget that. They had rejoined. And they would send some of their guys in. So Gorilla went in for a couple of shots in the 70s, but that's about it. Not a ton of, he didn't really work the territory, so to speak. I think it was literally just 3 matches over the course of his career, but I always like answering questions about Detroit wrestling. Sorry.
But kind of stemming off that, I do have a question now, because you said that he never went south, and I feel like that's crazy. I feel like Georgia and Memphis and like Florida, I feel like that was like the places to go. And if him just staying north sounds like, because I feel like usually, like, you know, that was the whole thing. You went on your like territory tour. So I think is there like a reason he didn't go south?
I think the reason is because he settled into the WWF so early. Because you have to think about it. He was only touring the territories for 3 years, and then he was settled down, and he almost went nowhere else after that. I mean, he had a couple, like I said, a couple of shots in Detroit. He went out to Hawaii a couple of times because why not? He went out back to California a couple of times, but very rare. And I think if he had had more of the conventional career of a wrestler in the 60s and 70s and not put down those roots, he absolutely would have gotten around to working in the South. It wasn't like he had a problem working in the South. I mean, he liked to vacation a lot in Florida. I mean, they were very good friends with Eddie Graham, who was the promoter in Florida. He just never worked there. If you count Puerto Rico as the South, I mean, it's pretty far south. He worked that territory a lot, but not part of the mainland American South. No.
It makes a lot of sense. Steven has got a question. He goes, what's something we wouldn't know about Gorilla's confrontation with Muhammad Ali?
Something that we wouldn't know about it. Well, I guess I would say that one thing we might not know about it is that he was not in favor of doing it, Gorilla. He went along with it because he was a company man and he was loyal and he was looking to help get this Ali versus Inoki thing across. But he Gorilla did not like the idea of scenarios where they did not have full control. So anytime you brought in an outside athlete or a guy who was a real fighter or something, he had concerns. You know, he was not a fan of the Brawl for All. He was not a fan of when they did Andre the Giant versus Chuck Wepner. And so I think part of it was they wanted him in there to make sure everything went well, because the idea was, you know, you had Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki. It was a giant match happening in Japan. The WWF was like the American liaison. They were promoting it in the States and getting it on closed circuit. So they wanted to make sure it went off well. Antonio Inoki was not well known in the United States at all. And there was also back then the idea that in a boxer versus wrestler fight, the boxer would win easily. That was sort of like conventional wisdom at the time. It's almost like reversed today, but back then that was like, and on top of it, it's Muhammad Ali. So it was feeling a little lopsided. Like people were thinking, oh my God, he's going to kill this guy. I don't even know who this Japanese wrestler is. Ali's going to kill him. So they wanted to plant doubt in people's minds and show like, maybe Ali is in too deep here. Maybe he doesn't know what he's getting into. So they created this scenario with Monsoon, who obviously they could trust because he was one of the owners of the company. So if you watch that whole segment, it does make Ali look very weak. You know, Monsoon manhandles him. He runs away. And then Monsoon even runs him down on the promo after the match. So that was the purpose of that, to get people thinking that Ali might actually lose that match. And so he went along with it, but he was not happy about doing it at all.
Makes a lot of sense.
And he was right in a way, because the whole thing was a disaster. It was a mess. It just was.
Not a good match.
No.
Is there, in writing this book and doing all your research for it, did it change any of your feelings about him in one way or the other? Like, you know, learning all these stories that you may not have heard, you know, just about the person.
I got an appreciation for what a good man he was, and I mean that. What a good, kind, respected and loved man he was. You don't get that a lot in the wrestling business. You know, I'm very jaded. I've been writing about wrestling for 30 years, and that doesn't happen a lot. There's always people with axes to grind. You always dig up skeletons. I mean, doing the Sheik book, I was just like, whoa, do I want to still keep writing this book? I mean, there were things that I didn't even put in, you know? Yeah. This was different. Everyone loved him. Everyone, there was so much praise that I was getting from everyone that I couldn't even fit in the book, that in the beginning of the book, I have a 2-page layout that's just quotes from people in the business praising Gorilla Monsoon. Like there was that much of it that I wanted to just start the book that way. So, I mean, it's not like I thought he was a terrible person, but I didn't realize to what extent he was so loved in the business.
It makes a lot of sense. Nikki, your controversial question.
Oh, my controversial question. Because
I thought the South question was the controversial question.
No. So I love breakfast. It is my favorite thing. Nick does not like breakfast that I do. And we're from New Jersey, and there's a fight about a breakfast meat. But we always ask everyone that comes on our show, what is your favorite breakfast? On Sunday morning, what are you eating?
You mean at home? Like if I'm having breakfast at home?
Yeah.
Well, because sometimes people go out for breakfast, you know.
I mean, you can go out because we're Jersey, so we're like diner.
I have to say, well, all right, if I'm going out to a diner and we're having breakfast, I don't know, I'm pretty boring. My go-to, all right, I guess my go-to is 2 scrambled eggs, and usually sausage and corned beef hash. If I'm feeling like, but I can't do that every day. I would have been dead by now, but that's like if I'm treating myself and we're out to breakfast. I love corned beef hash very, very much.
Yes.
And I like sausage more than bacon. So I hope that's fascinating to you, but that's something maybe people didn't know about me. Yeah. If I'm home, I may not go to that length. You know what I like to, and again, it's weird. I'll tell you this because you're from Jersey, so I guess you would get this, but apparently, all right, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Okay. And apparently, like the biggest thing in the world in New York City is bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. Now, here's the thing. I've been gone from New York City for a long time. I mean, I still visit. I haven't lived there since 2002. I'm not saying there wasn't any bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches when I lived there, but I think something happened in the last 20 plus years where it became this big phenomenon, because it really wasn't. Like the big thing was always bagels, you know, bagels with a schmear. And now it's like everyone talks about this bacon, egg, and cheese. And I love it, but it's crazy to me how it's become so identified with New York City. Like I don't remember that when I lived there, but I do love a nice bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. Got to be on a roll, not on a bagel, on a hard roll. And that makes me very happy.
So the funny part is that like the controversy in this question is that like usually when we have people from New Jersey on, it's literally like a regional thing. If you're above a certain area in New Jersey, it's Taylor ham, and if you're above that, if you're below that line, it's pork roll. So like it's like it's
pork roll, egg, and cheese on a hard roll.
Yeah, somebody wrote in the comments salt, pepper, ketchup. Yep. Yeah. I don't like ketchup on eggs, I have to say.
Girl.
I know. I feel like most people do, but there's definitely a significant minority of people that don't like ketchup on eggs, and I'm one of them. But I go for this. I go for the salt and pepper for sure. Just no ketchup, please.
Same. No, down with ketchup forever.
I like ketchup, but I see how it can overwhelm things.
Yeah, it does. It takes over the flavor. That's the thing. It's like,
yeah.
So I like the taste of eggs, and with the ketchup, all you taste is the ketchup.
Ugh.
That's why I like it.
I would eat scrambled eggs breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and Nick's like, "That's disgusting." And I was like, "Well, you eating ketchup is disgusting to me." So
that's a lot of eggs. Yeah,
I can't.
I love breakfast.
I'm not a big breakfast for dinner guy. I'll say that. My wife loves breakfast for dinner. I don't. To me, it's like in a pinch. Okay, fine. It's like you wouldn't have like dinner for breakfast, right? So Why is breakfast for dinner okay? I don't get it, but I go along with it. I go along with it.
After 10 a.m., I can't do. I can barely.
I'm good till 11. I'm one of these people. Like, I guess it's like that. You ever see the movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler?
Yes.
So you know what I'm talking about. Like, I can't believe that McDonald's. What is it? 10:30 they stop serving breakfast.
I love.
Who the hell is gonna have a Big Mac at 10:45 in the morning? Like, what are we doing here? You know.
To be fair, depending on how I love lunch so much that I push the envelope to like 11.
I think that it's got to go at least 11, possibly even 11:30. I'm not even thinking about lunch until like 12:30. You know,
but it's brunch. So like brunch, like the brunch thing.
I don't think of McDonald's when I'm thinking of brunch. You know.
Yeah, but brunch, they put out everything in brunch.
Yes, they do.
They put out like sliders and stuff at brunch sometimes. Like,
what brunch are you going
You've
to?
been the same brunches I've been at.
McDonald's should really try to cut into that brunch market. You know, McBrunch. Like you could get a Mick mimosa, you know, with your.
Now you're talking my language.
There you go.
I can do a mimosa.
The amount of money they would bring in if they had alcohol there. Oh God. Yeah.
They do in Europe. You've seen Pulp Fiction, right? I could confirm that. I was in don't ask me why I did this. I regretted it immediately. I was in a McDonald's in Venice, Italy. And to be honest, to tell you the truth, the reason was that we had run out of money. So that was the only place to eat. We went in there and everything they say is true. I got the Royale with cheese instead of a quarter pounder, and they serve beer in there. I did not get a beer, but it was on tap.
Ooh,
incredible.
Yeah, true.
It's interesting how like culturally, like regionally, like McDonald's changed. Because when I went to Japan, it was like they did the same thing too. Like they appropriated the menu for the Japanese.
Oh yeah, well you got to tailor it to the market. It makes sense. You know, the thing is in Europe, really, beer is not even considered alcohol. I mean, it's like one step away from water. You know what I mean? Like it's not. You can get it anywhere.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Brian, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. We're super excited. Your book, The Irresistible Force, The Life and Times of Grilled Monsoon, comes out Tuesday on Amazon, correct? And where
everywhere.
Else?
It's wide release. I'm very glad because my publisher is ECW Press, and the book is distributed through Simon & Schuster. So, you know, this is not going to be a hard book to find. Barnes & Noble, Amazon, the Books A Million chain, which is, even local bookstores. You know, we'll get it in if you have one, and they'll order it if they don't have it. In Canada, you might want to order directly from ECW Press because they're a Canadian company, and the postage is tolerable within the country. And yeah, the audio book I think is going to be out next month, but I don't have a exact date for that yet.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward. Brian, it's been a pleasure. We're looking forward to reading the book. And
just one thing really quick, guys. I'm sorry. One person asked if there's any signings coming up. The only one I have scheduled for right now, I guess I'll mention this, but it's always like, if you're in the area, like, I don't know. Yeah. We're doing a book launch on Sunday, October 5th. And I've been talking about it on social media from 2 to 5 at a place in Fairfield, Connecticut called the Illicit Brewing Company in Fairfield, Connecticut. And if people want to come down to that, I will be selling signed copies of the book at the launch party. So
awesome.
That's all I've got scheduled for now, but there might be more. I'll let people know. I did a couple already. That's the thing.
That's a great date.
Great date.
It's Nikki's birthday.
Oh, okay. There you go. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Well, Brian, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us here on Friday. Again, looking forward to catching the book, and until next time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Solomon, good friend of the show.
Making new friends. We're making so many new friends.
So many friends around the world. A lot of Northeast are friends.
I know.
They just so have.
And I just assume that you're right over here. I'm like, pork roll. Apparently not. But Brooklyn bagels, girl. But like, if you're in Brooklyn, that's where bagels live. Good point. But all you ketchup people, you're disgusting.
No, ketchup's good.
Ketchup's disgusting.
For certain things, it's good. Like eggs.
No.
It's good on top of scrambled eggs.
I think Catherine put in the chat about her dissertation. My dissertation was on ketchup. And spoiler alert, I fucking hate ketchup. But I digress.
See, actually, Catherine agrees with me. Ketchup goes on eggs and breakfast for dinner in the winter. In the winter is great. Interesting. In the winter.
Is this cold and getting some warm little eggies or warm little bakies?
Interesting.
I don't know, but ketchup
Steven said A1 on eggs.
Ugh.
HP. Hewlett Packard? Not really sure. But it's been a fun one, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I know we're making new friends. Again, you never know who's going to show up at happy hour, my babies.
Exactly. Yeah, you just never know. Authors, wrestlers, referees, new friends, call-ins. We got it all. Yeah, regulars. We got it all. Nikki, before we get out of here.
Yes.
We're back here tomorrow.
Yes.
Special guest host. We're bringing him in.
Top hat and all.
Yeah.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steve.
Yep. Celebrity host, guest host.
You also didn't let me clap, but I digress.
Yeah, well, you can clap tomorrow during his intro.
No, you're going to probably got that off too.
We'll see. We shall see. Guest host tomorrow for 90s Wrestling Con. Steve Baba joining us. We also got a bunch of 90s wrestlers we're going to try and harass to coming on our show. We'll see who says yes. But until next time, Nikki, our next show is tomorrow at noon.
Uh-huh.
And then following that, our next show, fingers crossed, provided technical difficulties, will be on a boat.
And it will be in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I hope that you will come sail away with me, Nikki, and that you will all join us.
You got no choice with me, sister.
I got no choice with you. But you will all join us next Friday at 6 for that fun Nicktoberfest. But we're back here again tomorrow at noon for 90s Wrestling Con, special road tour. And we're taking the show on tour. We got a couple extra dates. Maybe I'll announce it tomorrow. I don't know. For October, November, and December coming up. Fall and beginning of winter. Winter is coming. Going on the road.
It's so hot right now. I'm in shorts and I'm sweating.
Yeah. But, yeah, well, we got to set up the schedule. We got a lot coming. Guests coming for October, November. You'll see. Stay tuned. But we'll let our not-so-CCO, Triple H, sail us off.
Spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. Banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight, Nikki. Another night without an incident.
Yes.
Steven does not make in-person appearances for just
no. Steven. Get it, girl.
Reese, thank you once again for joining us from
Love
overseas.
You immensely, you know that.
As a new regular, well, not really new, you're a regular now. You're part of this community. We want you all to be part of this as well. This has been a fun Friday. This is the highlight of my week every week. Spending time with the love of my life, my wife, and all of you to talk about wrestling. So thank you very much. Until next time, you do not have to go home.
But you can stay here. Goodbye.